Hi, my name is Victoria Medina, founder of Image Power, how to take control of your photographic image. And I want to begin by saying thank you. I am so grateful to all of you. I had the opportunity of sending out an email to a number of colleagues of mine because I've been a photographer for over 20 years. And I have been really surprised that in this day and age with social media, cameras on our iPhones, cameras literally everywhere, photographs on Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere you could think of, people still get nervous when they need to pose for a photo, and they get really concerned about it. And so I have worked with so many wonderful clients who have shared with me that when they work with me, at the end of our session, they're so thrilled and they're so happy with the results that I wanted to start sharing this information. And so I sent out an email to my colleagues, friends, and business associates, and I was just so grateful for the responses and the number of questions that I received. And so what I wanted to do, because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, it is a day of celebration across America, and it is also a day that we get together with our family and our friends, business associates, and we have a day of celebration, and it's going to also be a day where we're going to take a lot of photographs. So I thought one thing that I can do today is answer the very basic, the one fundamental tool, idea, suggestion that I give to all of my clients to get them going to be really comfortable in front of the camera. And it is the one thing that I do for myself as well, because like everybody else, I get concerned, I get nervous about being in front of the camera. So I want to begin by sharing with you a little bit about myself. As I said, that I have been a photographer for over 20 years, and I have had the joy of photographing so many different images and people, from celebrities to children, from business associates to live events, theatrical events as well, which has been, oh God, I love shooting theater events. It's so much fun. And again, so I'll be at an event and I'll ask somebody to pose and take a picture, and all of a sudden, I mean, this is somebody who's a celebrity where they're like out and about all the time in front of the camera, and I could still see some people getting nervous, you know, getting a little stiff here and there, and sometimes even somebody who's at the event and they're taking a picture with a celebrity and suddenly they're getting nervous. So here is something that I wanted to share with you. The first thing to think about, well, let me also share, before I begin with that, here's how this all came about actually. In 2012, I did a couple of videos, and I didn't have a chance to market the videos because I needed to take care of my family, and we all have that situation where our family starts to come first and we want to be there for them. So as it turned out, a number of my family members passed away, and I was in a situation where I had to plan memorial services and funerals, and I started going through photographs because I wanted to do a photographic tribute. Now, I always understood the meaning of photographs because I love them. But in that moment, it was that much more poignant because they were gone. And I was so grateful that these photographs existed. And as I looked through the photographs, I realized that, like, a very dear friend of mine passed away, and there was like this one image that I would have loved to have had with her. Or, you know, someone else, you know, left, and I was so grateful that I had the image with them. And photographs are the biography of our lives. Every millisecond that's captured is a story. And it tells a story of what happens in that moment. And each of these moments become our legacy, and it becomes our biography. And as we get older, we start to look at photos and we're like, wow, I remember that time, I had a great time. Remember, you call up your friend, I was looking at a photo, and wow, we were looking good. Remember when we had this happen and all of that? And you have these wonderful memories. And then also, you'll look at photographs and you're going to share them with your children, and you're going to tell them, oh yeah, when I was a kid, I did this and I did that, and your kids are going to say, really, Mom, Dad, you did this? So photographs become something that we're going to share with each other. And we're in a very, very, very fortunate situation where we can capture amazing images that will last because they're digital, last forever. And you get to share that with your children and your children's children. So it becomes a legacy of your story, of your ancestral story, that your great, 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 great grandchildren will get to observe. So how you are in that image is so important for you and so important to everybody who shares their time with you, and so important for the people who are going to be there after you say, you know, hi, after you for your great-grandchildren. So here is the one fundamental thing I want you to think about every time you're in front of the camera. And actually, if you think about it beforehand, you won't have to think about it when you're in front of the camera, because you're going to be having too good a time. The first thing is, don't think about this. Don't think about your face. Think about this. What's happening in your heart? What's happening at the moment? Because the camera is a form of communication. You're communicating with your family, your friends, your business associates. You're sharing a moment in time. And if it's a headshot, you're sharing your professional image and what you want to project when that person's going to work with you. If it's a moment that's a good time, you're going to be sharing that with your family and your friends. So that's what you want to capture. You don't want to capture what you're thinking about, what your flaws are. You want to capture the spirit of the moment, which is one of the reasons why I love this, the phrase, capture the spirit of life, because that is exactly what the camera is going to be doing, is capturing the spirit of the moment. I had a wonderful acting coach. I also come from a theater background, and I have a wonderful acting coach. He's brilliant. His name is Larry Moss, and if you ever hear this name, everyone will tell you this man is just extraordinary. And one of the things that he would always say is, if you go on stage and you're nervous, that's because you're focusing on yourself. You're not focusing on who you're with. So when you're posing for the camera, focus on who you're communicating to. You're communicating with yourself. Actually, your camera is like a long lost friend. So in a month, 5, 10 years from now, when you look at that photo, it's going to remind you of something in that moment. So you're communicating, you're the friend in the future. And there's this gorgeous saying about who do you want to be and aspire to in the future. So aspire to how you want to greet yourself in this moment. So it's a form of communication. It's a form of communication of how you want to share these images with your friends who are on Facebook, who may be overseas and couldn't share this moment with you, but they're definitely going to share the experience with you through the photograph. So the camera is a form of communication. It's a time machine. It's a travel machine. It connects you to family, friends, business associates. So you want to show up and be present in the moment and in the picture. And one thing that I really feel strongly about is, as a society, we got to stop shaming ourselves. If you are a person who is loved and you love people, you are beautiful. You are beautiful. There isn't a person on this earth who doesn't see flaws. Cindy Crawford, and everyone could attest to this woman being really beautiful and a supermodel, and she would talk about her flaws. Because we all have them, and one of the things that we've learned, because we are in a great communication society, is that what we see on magazine covers is a lot of doctoring. And a lot of people will talk about how it takes them a long time with all the makeup and the hair and everything to get ready for the camera. So they're beautiful in a different way. We're beautiful in our own way. And if you look at, in the music industry, from Snoop Dogg to Adele, if you look at Dancing with the Stars recently, from Bindi Irwin to Paula Deen, We have people with all different looks from all walks of life. And the one thing that they're not doing when you look at these celebrities is they're not holding themselves back from being present in front of the camera in the moment, thinking about their flaws. They're thinking about communicating with everyone. And that's what you want to do. You have no flaws. And if you have flaws that you're concerned about, okay, accept them. They're there. They're there in this moment. If it's something you could change tomorrow, and I know that I've have been in that situation where there was something that I wasn't happy with in one moment in my life, so I changed it for another moment. But I no longer wanted to deny myself taking a great photo, because this moment in time is not going to come back. So the more present I am I really going to look at the photo 5 months from now and say, ooh, I had a little pimple there? No, I'm not. I'm going to look at the photo and say, wow, I'm going to focus more on the memory than I am about anything that I was thinking about in terms of what I look like. It took me a long time to get there. And I have a lot of experiences where I'm looking at photographs and I'm not in them because I was behind the camera. And I have a lot of friends who say that, well, I was behind the camera. Be behind the camera is great because you want to capture them, but also make sure you come in front of the camera so you share those moments with people. Please forgive the helicopter sound if you're hearing it. But it's actually a good sign for me because he's moving along, and I want to say thank you. Thank you for sharing your questions with me. Thank you for being here today. I have so much more that I want to share with you, but until next time, have a great holiday. If you're not celebrating Thanksgiving, have a great celebration. You are a celebrity. Let's stop shaming ourselves. Let's not stop comparing ourselves to people. We are all celebrities today because someone in this world is celebrating that we are a part of their lives. So you capture the spirit of life with passion. Thank you.